Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today is going to be a review slash demo slash swatches video. That was a fucking mouthful, but I'm used to a mouthful, so I can handle it. Just kidding. Anyways, this is going to be a review slash swatches slash demo video of the Anastasia Beverly Hills Subculture palette, which I'm sure you guys have seen all over the internet. This palette is literally so beautiful. If you guys have me on Snapchat, you guys know I was a little bit frustrated at first because it was so hard to get this, only because I guess it went on sale at 9:30 a.m. and I was up at like 8 o'clock ready online with my credit card ready to purchase this damn thing, and their site kept crashing, kept going down. So it took me an hour and a half just to get it into my cart and check out, which was super frustrating. But hey, when you have a palette as beautiful as this, I guess you kind of go through these things. So it costs $42 and you get 14 shades. This is what it looks like right here, just in case you guys are not sure. So 14 shades for $42, which I think is a really good deal. And if you guys have used Anastasia shadows before, they're pretty good. Or so I thought. Because there is a little bit of drama going on with this one specifically. If you guys have me on Twitter, then I'm sure you guys already know about this. So if you guys know who Alyssa Ashley is, she actually made a review video of it, and then she took just a regular old blending brush just like this, and she was just swiping right across the powders of the shadow. And it was just dusting off, dusting off. She wasn't pushing abnormally hard. She was just swiping across, and the powders were just flaking off, flaking off, flaking off. And if you guys have me on Snapchat, I told you guys like, hey, you may want to hold off on buying this palette because I think something is wrong with it, and I'll tell you guys in today's video, and that's what today's video is. So I quote tweeted her thing, and I guess it got around to Norvina, and Norvina had made a post regarding Alyssa Ashley's video saying, if you want to swirl around or brush around it, I'm sure you could reach pan. Honestly, I thought that was a little bit shady, so I was like, hold up, my palette does the same thing, and I did not sit there swiping my brush across all day long. No, I did it once or twice, and it did the same damn thing Alyssa Ashley's did. So I think that was really wrong of Norvina to say that, but she said supposedly that this is a defected palette that me and her got. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make two different review videos. This is going to be the first one, obviously, of this supposedly defected Anastasia palette, and then I'm going to return it, get a new one, and then film it and see if there's differences with it. The reason why I'm doing two different ones is not to be shady, not to say, hey, this one's fucked up, so I'm gonna go ahead and like try to bash this one. Not at all. That's not how I roll. But if she's sitting there and she's saying, hey, you could return it, this may be a defected one, I'm gonna return it and actually really see if this is just a defected one or if this is just the formulation of this palette. This is my first Anastasia Beverly Hills palette. I do have plenty of her single shadows, and I absolutely love them. However, when I was playing with this one, I was like, something is wrong with this. They're powdery, not blendable, they're super chalky, and when you literally, and I'll show you in video in a bit, when you just go like this on the palette or on any single color that's a matte shade, it literally just digs into the powder, which I'm like, hold up, why did I just touch the top of it? And the top of it, the surface is already fucked up. So I thought something was wrong with that. So I was really glad to know that Alyssa Ashley, when she did it, I was like, okay, cool, I'm not the only one that has this fucked up palette. And I'm glad that she spoke up and said something about it, because look, I'm not trying to throw anybody under the bus, but I've watched a few reviews on this damn palette, and a lot of people were complaining like, oh, you know what, it's just not blending right, it must be me. Oh, you know what, this color's not picking up, it must be me. Oh, this color looks a little bit chalky, it must be me. I'm like, no, it's not you. Like, come on now. These people that I'm watching, I'm like, their artistry is amazing. It's not you, it's the damn palette, but they just don't want to say it because they're too scared to not be on their PR list or not to be shouted out on their page. I don't give a fuck about the PR list, and I don't give a fuck about being on her page. So I'm just gonna spit the truth to you guys, let you guys know. So I wanted to give you the heads up that this will be the first review on this. I mean, wrong finger, putting a fucking thumbs up. The first review, and then I'm gonna go ahead and send it back and do the second review. I already said that, but just that way you guys have a clear understanding of what I'm doing here. So yes, let's go ahead and get this started so that way you guys can see what the fuck I'm talking about. Okay, so this is the palette right here. It has a very pretty velvet texture to it, which I really, really like. This palette feels very heavy and very sturdy, unlike that damn Huda Beauty one. You guys know that one I just didn't like because it's like super, super cheap, but I actually like the textures and the colors of those shadows. But anyways, that's besides the point. So you do get 14 shades in this one. So you get 3 shimmers and 11 mattes. You know a bitch can't talk as usual. Oh my god, look at my double chin right there. Let me put that down. Hold on. Okay, there we go. So you get 11 mattes and 3 shimmers, which is super, super cool. The shades are literally beautiful. There's not one shade in here that I don't like. I think it's a great combination of colors. So let's go ahead and get the swatches started. Oh, actually, you know what I forgot to note on this? It does have a 6-month shelf life. I don't know why I found this very, very strange. I feel like every other palette that I have has 24-month shelf life on it. I checked the 3 that are right here and they all have a 24-month shelf life, and this one only has 6 months. So just noting that just in case, because I found it strange, because who the fuck goes through a full palette in 6 months? So just noting that. So let's go ahead and get started. So you do get a little brush right here. I normally find these brushes really fucking shitty. So let me fill this one. Yeah, to me this just feels like, I don't know, just cheap. Anyways, but it's cool that it still comes with one though. So let's go ahead and get started on the swatches right here. So we're gonna go ahead and start right here. So I'm starting with the shade Roxy. As you guys can tell, I dipped my brush into them. Obviously, this is where they're a little bit messed up from the brushes, just as I was mentioning. So don't pay attention to that, but let's just pretend it's new. So this, see, even touching it right there, you can tell, I think that they just try to go too creamy with this, way too creamy. So this is the swatch of that right there, which, let's see how it looks on there. In person, it looks kind of chalky, but it's a pretty shade. And then this shade right here, as you guys can tell, it looks tore up in here. I went back and forth because I swear to God, this color has no pigment at all. No pigment. Look at that. I literally dug around, nothing. That right there, I thought it would be such a pretty shade because I love a light shimmery pink shade, but that's an absolute no. So let's go ahead and go down to Electric right here. And then this is that one, which honestly, compared to her other shimmery shades, is just not very pigmented at all, but it does look nice. I think that one's decent. And then we'll move up to Dawn. Again, even just from putting my finger in it, you guys can see right there all the shadow that comes off of it. It's really, really crazy. And then that one, it is very pigmented, but pretty chalky. All right, then moving down to Fudge. And I own Fudge in the regular one, and it's not this type of texture. Something is different with this one. I don't know if it's cheaper or what, but let's go ahead and look at that. So it does look very, very pigmented right there. I think what they did is they tried to make it too buttery, and they should have just left it with the original formula, but that's just my opinion. And then we're gonna go in with the shade Destiny right here. We'll swipe this one up top. Oh, sorry, you can't see there. There we go. Which it is super pigmented, but again, look how much comes off right there. See if you guys, oh shit, sorry. See if you guys can see that. It's just so much comes off on there, and it's all over the palette now. I don't know if you guys can see it from the camera there, but it's definitely all over the place in person. And that's from a finger swatch, so just imagine with a brush, you know? All right, and then the next shade, New Wave. And we'll swipe that one right there. Again, you see chunks of it going off into that green shade right there. And then we'll move into the shade Adorn, which is the third and last shimmery shade in the palette. And there goes that. All right, then going into the shade called Untamed. And then the shade All Star. We'll swipe right here. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can see just how chalky that is. Look how much comes off. It's literally like taking a piece of chalk and putting it on the sidewalk. That's insane. Then we're gonna move down to the shade Edge, and we'll swipe that right here. And that one actually seems okay. Doesn't have as much fallout as the other ones. And then the shade Mercury. We'll swipe up top here. And then the last shade here is Axis. And we'll go ahead and, oh dear Lord. Okay, so now that you guys have seen the swatches, I'm gonna go ahead and show you what it looks like to swatch it with a brush. Now, I just really wanted to throw this in there only because I thought a lot of people were kind of coming after Alyssa for making this video and saying like, oh, why are you swirling around in there? It's like, you have to actually go in there to actually get the pigment, so what do you mean? So I'm gonna show you guys a few colors of me just taking the actual Anastasia brush that comes in the palette and just swiping the top layer of it. There is so much kickback and so much digs into the product, and you can see right away just from lightly touching it, it messes up the whole product. So I just want to show you guys that way you guys can see, because it really kind of pissed me off that a lot of people were coming for her saying, why are you swirling around so much in your brush? She's just showing you guys that's just how it is. So I'm going to show you guys too up close, and you guys can see I'm literally only going to lightly touch the damn thing, so that way you guys can get a feel for what this does and the powderiness of this palette. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. Okay, so as you guys can see, this is the Anastasia brush that comes in the palette, because I don't want anybody being like, oh, your brush hairs are too strong or whatever. So I'm just gonna show you, let's see if I could zoom in actually a little bit more. There we go. Let me scooch this on over. And let's just go ahead and go with the shade Roxy right here. Do you see this? Lightly touching it. We'll go in with the shade Dawn now, just to see that one. And I swear to you, look at this. I'm gonna go really soft and slow. Do you see how much color is scooping on into electric? Light and slow, look at that. All right, and let's go ahead and go with the shade Fudge, because I'm sure you guys are familiar with Fudge. She's obviously had it as a single shadow in other palettes before. So, clean off the brush just a little bit there, and I'm just lightly, once again, look how soft I'm gonna go. Look how much comes off. Do you see that? Literally just a crap ton. And honestly, I don't want anybody thinking I'm being like dramatic or anything. Buy this damn palette if you want, and you do the same thing and see if that's normal for a shadow, because that's insane. So excuse my messy ass desk, but I had posted on Twitter, I mean not Twitter, fucking Snapchat about this, and people are like, oh my god, are you sure you got the real one? Did you buy the real one? Is that a fake one? Did you buy the fake one? This is my receipt right here. This is the real palette. So I just wanted to throw this in this video so that way you guys know. I did purchase this. It is not fucking fake. Like, I would not do some shit like this for views or for attention or anything like that. This is just the one that I got. All right, so now that you guys have seen the swatches, and now that you guys have seen what the brush does to the actual shadow, I'm sure you guys have probably figured out why the hell this palette has only a 6-month shelf life, because you're not even gonna have it for longer than 6 months with how much product is being wasted. Like, it's just ridiculous how much color comes off of this. So yes, now that we have that all done and I showed you guys what happened with this palette, I'm gonna go ahead and do the demo slash tutorial part of this video. I'm going into it with open mindset, and I'm gonna try my hardest, and I swear to God I'm gonna try my hardest to create an amazing look, and I hope that it doesn't really have to make me work a lot, and I really pray that there's not too much fallout, because I feel like I got my foundation and my highlight and everything snatched today, so I don't want this palette to fuck it up. So let's go ahead and get this started, and that way you guys can see how it looks on the eyes. Alright, so getting this started, I'm just gonna go ahead and take my MAC Painterly Paint Pot, which I always prime my eyes with, and I'm just gonna put that on. Okay, so the first shade that I am starting off with is Edge, which is that mustardy yellow, and I'm taking it on my MAC 224. Okay, so I don't know if you guys can see this. I'm gonna zoom it in as much as possible, but this part of my eye right here where the brush is not picking up any pigment. Look at the area surrounding it, and there is pigment, but not right here. I'm just gonna roll with it and keep on trying to fucking add more pigment on top of it, even though I shouldn't really have to do that. Yeah, so one thing is for sure, the shade Edge is really, really patchy. It's just so weird how it'll pick up on some areas kind of nicely, and then on other areas, it won't show up at all, which is really, really strange to me. And you definitely have to put in work to blend with this. And y'all know a bitch knows how to blend, so don't try to come for me. Okay, because I want this to like come out even, what I'm doing is I'm taking a little bit more of a dense brush, and I'm just gonna place that like right on top, and hopefully it sticks to the skin then, because I really want to like create a good look with this. I mean, fuck, the palette did cost me $42. I better come out looking fucking decent. So I'm just kind of like lightly placing this on top rather than buffing it as I normally would with any other shadow. So hopefully that'll work. Then I'm going in with the shade Untamed on my Morphe M514, and I'm just gonna take this in the outer corner. Hopefully that this will cover that area of the, what shade was that, edge that wasn't coming up. Let's hope. I honestly don't know if I'm just like being overcritical or what, because I expect more out of her brand, but these colors just don't blend properly. Like they don't blend into each other good enough, like, or good at all, not even fucking good enough. Like, I don't know, it just looks splotchy. Like, let me see if I come closer. Can you see what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck is that? You see how it's all pigmented right there and I blended it the fuck out and then it just doesn't pick up right there, but it will right there. What? Okay, hopefully you guys can see that, because I'm not making this shit up. But I'm just gonna keep on trying my hardest just to make it work, because like I said, I want to get a good fucking look at it at least, even if I have to put in extra work. I'm just gonna be taking a little bit of the shade Destiny, which is like the army green, to hopefully kind of blend this together a little bit more. Okay, so I literally sat here for an additional 20 minutes off of camera, trying my hardest to like literally blend this the best that I can, because like I said numerous times, I'm really fucking trying my hardest. Like, I'm honestly not trying to fucking bash Anastasia. If you guys watch my old videos, you guys know I literally love the fuck out of their single shadows. I just don't know if they decided to go with a cheaper route on this palette or what, but I'm trying to make it work. It's looking like shit to me, but whatever. So I'm gonna go in with the shade Electric now, and I'm taking that on my MAC 239, and I'm gonna pack that on the lid. Let's see. Oh, okay, well at least we're getting somewhere with this. And I really, really do like the shade Electric. I think it's beautiful. I'm gonna go in with just a little tiny smidge of the shade Rowdy, which is like the really dark purple, because I want the outer corner to be like really, really dark. Taking just a regular angled brush. This one's a Napoleon Purtis BR10. And I'm gonna be taking the shade Axis, which is the like deep blue shade. And I'm gonna be taking that right underneath my lash line. I definitely recommend, if you guys are getting this palette, do your eyeshadow first. Do not do your foundation first. Even though I don't recommend this palette at all. Not one single bit. It's not working for me. But hopefully after I take this in, or return it I mean, and get the new one, honestly, I'm really, really hoping that she's telling the truth and that it's gonna be bomb, and this is a bad batch. I'm really, truly hoping that, because the color arrangement in this palette are so beautiful. I want it to work out so bad. Then I'm just gonna take my Morphe M507 and buff that out. I'm gonna go ahead and pop on some liner and some lashes and complete the other eye, and I'll be right back to give you my verdict on this palette, which I'm sure you guys already know the fucking verdict. Okay, so you guys, I am not fucking exaggerating. It took me about an hour and a half to do this other eye, because I was so determined to make it like this one. I don't know, I am so stressed out right now. Honestly, I'm about to go get drunk and just fucking drink a 36 pack. This palette stressed me the fuck out, and the only reason why I say that is because I was so fucking excited for it, and I woke up so early trying to get it, and I'm just really disappointed that it's so hard to work with, unblendable, very powdery. You can tell that the product is gonna go to waste because there's so much excess product when you dip the brush in there, just going to waste, flying all over the place. So I'm just really disappointed in it. Honestly, I'm really hoping that when they send me a replacement after I send this one in, that it's going to be good. But for some reason, I'm just gonna be honest with you guys, I have a feeling that it's gonna be the same exact fucking formula and the same exact consistency as this palette. But I'm just really, really hoping, fingers crossed, that I did get a bad batch and I did get a messed up one. But yeah, I'll film a second one like I said, and I really, truly hope that that one's better. But as of now, if I had to base my opinion on this specific palette that I have right here in my hand, this is actually the worst palette I've ever purchased in my entire fucking life. And I know that sounds dramatic, but I'm being dead serious. I have You guys know, if you guys follow me forever, I fucking hate Urban Decay eyeshadows. I feel like they're terrible. These are worse than Urban Decay. I'd rather get Urban Decay all day over these. But I do use her single eyeshadows. Like, I literally have, I would say maybe about 30 of her single eyeshadows, and I absolutely love them. If you guys scroll through my videos, look at my old Instagram posts and stuff like that, I use several of her shadows. Absolutely fucking love them. This is just a huge flop. I don't know if they were just trying to make a quick buck and put out something that wasn't as high quality. Maybe they're cutting costs or something like that, but this palette is just terrible. The color arrangement's absolutely beautiful, like I said, but overall, I'm gonna have to give this a big motherfucking thumbs down. It's a negative, so yeah, this is my first review. I'll do the second one hopefully within a couple weeks when I get the second palette. And yeah, if you guys like this video, make sure you guys give it a thumbs up, and make sure you guys subscribe to my channel. And if you guys want to get notified when I get new videos, when I upload new videos, make sure you turn on the post notifications so that way you guys get notified. And I'll catch you guys at my next video. Peace out, Girl Scout.